I think the Leona Group and Liberty Arts Academy do a great job about meeting the individual needs of our kids. And we go above and beyond to do that, whether it's through differentiated learning or most importantly, focusing on the whole child.
The one thing that students consistently say about South Point that helps them overcome these barriers is that they feel like here they're accepted for who they are and that they have adults that truly care about them and meet them where they're at.
I think we just are able to help students find a path that works for them and help them flourish with that.
The Leona Group meets each child where they are because they redefine what is possible for both the student, families, and the community that we serve.
Our teachers are just so gung-ho to always help them out no matter what.
We have kids who come to us with all kinds of needs, more than just academic. And the fact that we have so many resources available through College and Career Center, through counselors, through additional programs to teach skills for students who are going to graduate and move on in life, to smaller class sizes, to the schedules that we provide, as far as early morning classes with day hour. We did a night school for many years.
The love we show, the respect, putting students first, creates that environment where students have their needs met.
Some of the programs or opportunities that we provide at our schools are having school counselors or social workers on campus. A lot of times students have some challenges that they can't work through as on their own. We have them as adults and we have resources and we have knowledge that sometimes young students don't have.
We have Title I programs, a lot of small group activities to help work with each student one-on-one.
When a family walks in the front door, we listen to their concerns, we've listened to their experiences at other schools. We try to figure out how we can best help them. So whether that is getting them a meeting with our SPED department or looking at their transcripts and creating a plan for graduation. From the time they walk into the office, our goal is, what does this family need?
They help me by sitting down and actually planning out what my future would look like by attending a Leona school.
The thing that changed for him here that we noticed is the acceptance. The acceptance. Not that they didn't care with what kind of disability he came, they just knew with the right support system, you can go further beyond your limitations. And I think that's what was amazing for him. That's what opened up his heart, his mentality, and his eyes to know that not everyone is the same. We're all different, but with the support that he had here and the non-judgment was what opened up a lot of doors for him.
No matter where the child comes from, no matter the background, no matter who and what they are accepted at Leona Group, and we meet them where they are because the students are the first important thing to us.
Young O and I go to Ridgeview College Prep.
Young is absolutely the spirit of Leona. She came to us last year, our first year, and she has really rocked it.
My family and my friends really motivate me. They really encouraged me to just kind of work to make a better life for myself.
She encourages others to kind of reach for the sky as well. She's very good at, if somebody comes to her and has a question, she helps.
She's a go-getter. We're just really excited to see what she does in her future.
After school, I plan to study computer science at Arizona State.
She's really, really motivated. Nothing's going to stop her from getting what she wants.
Being the spirit of Leona means working through hardships and continue persevering and going to school because you know it'll help you get to where you need to be later in life.
So many of our students today have barriers. There's so many things, including the pandemic, home life, different things.
And Leona Group helps remove those by giving them, again, a safe place where they're known, where they're loved, where they can get education.
I have a lot of students who come in who suffer from depression, anxiety, or different things that may be going on in our home environment that may impact their learning. I think with my one-on-ones that I have with my students and my group meetings, and the fact that I'm able to do a lot of social and emotional teaching throughout the week, helps students sometimes to overcome those barriers that may be impacting their education.
Trying to understand them to the fullest so that they can be able to provide them the support that they need academically so that they can actually strive. There's no such thing as giving up on the child. There's no such thing as you're not good enough for our school or you don't meet certain criteria to be at our school. It's actually giving every child an opportunity to be successful.
Many of our kids get beat upon in terms of you're not this, you're not that, and so forth, and they end up kind of internalizing that and not believing that they really can succeed in learning. And so we try to offset that, and I think we do to a high degree, are able to offset that, get young people believing in themselves. I do believe, and again, that's something standardized tests don't measure in terms of self-esteem, self-concept, but if young people believe in themselves and accept responsibility for their own growth, I think they'll succeed.
They just believed in her. Like, I remember coming here and thinking how nervous I was for her to start a new school. And, you know, we'd had some not great experiences at previous schools. And they were just like, nope, it's fine. Everything's gonna be fine. We're seeing some stuff. It's not a big deal. And they just absolutely refused to give up on her at any point in time. And I think that translated to her into that self-belief that I'm not going to give up on myself. And what I saw was a radical transformation from a kid who was so nervous to a kid who was able to get up in front of a group of people and give a speech on leadership. That would not have been anything that I could have even dreamed of her doing.
I think it's a community effort, and we work with all students, parents, community members, staff, teachers, to be able to make sure that that student is successful in their educational journey.
Talking about previous experiences at different schools, maybe they come to us from different high schools, or like with the freshmen coming up, and maybe not so good experiences that they've had, maybe things that have created in their mind areas that they feel that they're weak in, and building confidence in those areas is massive for these kids.
Definitely so thankful that I ended up going to Maya High School and just graduating from here. Walking on the stage and receiving my diploma was just heart-touching. It's just, I've never thought I would do this, because I went to high school in 3 different countries, Syria, Jordan, and here. It got me to a spot where I'm at right now, pursuing my undergraduate right now. I'll graduate soon, then I will start searching actually here shortly for graduate schools.
Our mission is to come alongside students, and we believe that students will do well if they can, not if they want to. So we provide students with opportunities to excel and grow and achieve, but more importantly, figuring out where they're at and then building on that so that they can gain more proficiency towards grade level and graduation.
Doesn't matter where you come from, who your parents are, how many siblings have graduated from Alta Vista High School. We look at every student as a unique individual, and we identify that student's not only learning needs, but future goals. And we strive to meet both of those.
What makes Steve Westfall the spirit of Leona? He has gone through a lot of difficult, traumatic events in his past, in middle school, losing his parents pretty young.
What motivates me most is probably just the pursuit of knowledge. To me, it's a beautiful thing to be able just to know things, really anything, and being able to share that knowledge with others. So to me, the more I know, that's the more I'm able to share with somebody else that might spark a love for something that they didn't even know they had.
I think his tactfulness and his wittiness and his intelligence, I think he approaches things in an intellectual way, and with all the suffering that he's been through with his school, his friends, peers, losing his family members, that approach is pretty commendable and remarkable.
He makes an impact on everyone around him because, again, he is a light. He is positivity. He wants to make a difference. He wants no one to be alone or to not have a friend. And so he makes everyone a friend. And I love that about him.
After high school, I plan on going to community college for general studies and then transferring to study either music, social work, or education.
Well, the goal is that students take ownership of their learning so they can take ownership of their lives. At the end of the day, that doesn't happen without adults on campus. It always comes down to people. And our campuses are staffed with adults who know that students come first. They're effective, but they're committed and they're passionate. And they know they can be that one caring adult on campus who makes the difference in the life of a student. And it works. We have students return to us year after year, and they always go and look for the receptionist, the school leader, the teacher, the office manager, the bus driver, who made a difference in their life. So it starts with that first step, the individual, the adult who cares about kids, and that helps students make that transition to believing in themselves and becoming successful and feeling like they can take ownership of their future.
At West Phoenix, we have a homeless liaison, we have student mentors, we have counselors that are specific for mental well-being. But the student mentors make sure that students are on track. And then you have your teachers and they're at ground zero in the classroom, trying to identify what's going on, building those relationships so kids feel comfortable and teachers are pointing them in the right direction to give them more support and more help. So those are all things that are there.
We guide our students to take control of their learning and their lives in many ways. I think the first step that we always take is goal setting. All of our students set goals for themselves, and then we support them as they plan out the exact path that they need to take in order to meet those goals.
I think that it's really important to teach children at a young age that in life they have a lot of roles and responsibilities, both in the classroom and outside of the classroom. One thing that I do specifically is I do give homework each night, and I teach the kids this is time management, this is your responsibility to bring it back. And along with that, I also teach children that, there is things outside of academics that they need to be doing. They need to be caring for one another and making sure that each other's okay. And I think that that's really important to instill in them at such a young age, so that as they grow older, they have that compassion and empathy towards others, and they're able to see the big picture.
Here at South Point and within the organization, you have to have clear expectations for your students and your staff and your whole team. Actually, we all have to be on the same page. And I think when you raise the bar for students and your staff, you have to have them set up for success.
Students have access to us in a very direct way, and we provide them both guidance for things that are happening within their lives at that moment. But we also do a lot of preventative sort of conversations where they can come in and talk to us, and we can talk to them about, planning ahead, planning for their futures.
Part of our role is to establish, especially for many of our kiddos, a sense of consistency. And by modeling consistency and, as a teacher who shows up every day and having, specific expectations of them, then they see that as a model for their own lives.
It goes back to setting them up with skills, not just learning content, but really teaching them how the skills that we're teaching them can be applied to any part of their life, whether it's conflict resolution or just being able to problem solve or critically think.
Let's take all young people and try to help them believe in themselves. They're not entitled to much. What they're entitled to is equal opportunities. And the students, as they perceive that, I think feel it, and I think learning becomes more relevant, and they become more engaged. They take more responsibility for their own learning and for their own outcome.
My name is Jared Carvajal, and I'm currently a junior at Leona Connected High School.
Jared is a student that has overcome some adversity with some medical issues, and she is just a very hard worker. She's graduating as a junior, so she's graduating early, and she's just a very impressive young lady.
What motivates me the most is continuing my education.
Her genuine love for learning, as well as the integrity that she has in completing her lessons and her organization during classes. When she was in live classes, she was encouraging to her classmates. They were encouraging to her. We built a very close family.
Her work ethic is very impressive. Her follow-through. She is a student that is very detail-oriented, so she always wants things done a certain way, like as in dates for things to be set up. And it's just very impressive that she's kept that up her entire time here.
The spirit of Leona has been a truly great event that has shown me that I am important, and it has been an honor.
We really try to build relationships with the students and their families, as well as the community. So we provide a lot of events, community service opportunities as well, and things that get parents involved, their siblings involved, their outer family. Everybody can come to different events. But we also provide, the sports. We have arts. We have game club. We have so many things that gets everybody involved.
Parents are always welcome, and families on our campus, so that they can be involved also in all of the process of the planning. And I want them to see what our goals are, and I love having their feedback and involving them in what we're going to do for their kids, and making sure that we are preparing them with their feedback as well.
So when I ended up going to Maya, the school leader and the staff, they were just amazing. They made me feel welcomed. They showed me that they cared for me and that they wanted me to succeed. And even though I felt like I wouldn't be able to succeed at my other school, they opened up the doors and allowed me to finish school.
They accepted me for who I am and they welcomed me in. So like when I was just talking to teachers or just talking to students, like first day I came here, I made like probably 30 friends. Like I was just talking to everybody.
Southridge creates meaningful relationship with students and families by building a high level of trust between the family, the student, and the teachers and staff at Southridge.
Whatever I communicate to the students, I communicate to the parents. That way we're all on the same page and we're helping, once again, that student to meet their goal academically and really socially.
I think we just build strong one-on-one bonds with them. They understand that every staff member here cares. Due to our small atmosphere, they get a lot of one-on-one attention. I get to meet and know every student.
It really gives us a chance as school leaders to know every single student by name and be able to craft those stories and be able to collaborate with all of them in a way that's meaningful, where they look back on their high school days and know that they were serviced by the staff members that they needed at that time in their life.
Here, it's like you're learning, but you're also having fun. You're getting to know your teachers, your classmates, building meaningful relationships with everybody.
Since our earliest days, Dr. Coates has had a saying, and that is, we know our students by name, by face, by family. And that is a philosophy that's alive and well on our campus. They're not just words. If you go to our schools, you'll see our school leaders, our teachers, all of our team members. They know their students. They know their stories. They know their histories. They know their academic standing. And what this does, this personal connection, helps create confidence in the student, and it helps motivate them. So on our campuses, it really is a student-centered approach, centered around strong relationships, strong connections to help students succeed.
To help the student believe in himself or herself and value education. But for the educator to do that, the student has to believe that the educator really cares about them and their well. You can't just be talk. We mentor the students, we provide role models for the students, we inspire and motivate them. But more importantly, we build relationships with them so that they believe in themselves. In large measure, that's what we emphasize all the time: relationships, relationships, and I think it's paying off in terms of the performance of the students and the well-being of the students.
They were dedicated to my success just as much as I was, and it was a very comforting environment. I was okay with crying in front of my teachers. I was okay with saying, like, this is what happened at the group home that night, and so I wasn't able to get this done, or I wasn't able to do this, and this is the struggle that I faced getting here. I knew, like, the buses went on strike, I think it was my senior year, and I was able to call and say, hey, like, 30 of us are stranded at this bus stop, and they sent Miss Pam to come pick us all up on the corner. So I always felt kind of able to make decisions for myself, but also have people in my corner to kind of help advocate, back me up on those decisions.
Relationships are what allow us to do what we do so well. I know kids will cry with us, they laugh with us, we do everything. So just like a family does at home is what we do here. And like I say, it's just because we want them to be the best little humans they possibly can be.
My name is Richard Sandoval, and I attend Crestview College Preparatory.
Well, Richard is a very unique individual in the sense that he already has a family. So he has a wife, he has a child, and Crestview is uniquely set up to cater to that specific dynamic.
He became a parent when he was young. He sacrificed his education so that his wife and mother could finish her education, went to work. When she graduated, came back to school, finished up, and is succeeding and doing amazing with us right now.
What motivates me is my son and my siblings.
He's incredibly polite, he's incredibly smart, he's incredibly dedicated, I think both to his family and to school. And I think he's a really go-getter. He's a real go-getter. He wants to go out there and make something.
Being the spirit of Leona means a lot to me. I am honored to receive this award, and it makes me very happy and proud for my family.
I think across the board, we certainly emphasize to have high expectations for our students. There's an adage that we believe in, that no one rises to low expectations. And some of our young people aren't looking too far to the future and sometimes lack confidence in themselves. And so we try to build them up and try to help them believe that we care about them and we have a relationship with them. And we wish them all the best, but it's really back on them. They have to have that high expectation for themselves as well. So we have it, we communicate it, and then our goal is for the student to internalize high expectation for himself or herself, and then proceed from there.
So before I came here, I never really had many goals for the future because I didn't think about it. But coming here, it's made me regain my love for learning, and before now, I never wanted to go to college, but now I think I'm rediscovering that want.
I tell parents all the time, a high school diploma is great, but the reality is our responsibility as a school, and I as the school leader really see this as my role, is making sure that a student leaves here with a high school diploma and with a plan for their future, and that we know what that plan is, and that we actually expose students to those careers, help them learn about those careers, and then walk them through the steps necessary for those careers. We know that not every student is going to go to college, but every single student will work. And so the soft skills that we instill at Alta Vista with punctuality and a focus on attendance and respect for rules and policies will set all of them up for their future.
The school helps me just because they are so hands-on, and admin, they're very in tune with us, and if we go and ask them a question, they have the answer quick. They don't have to make us wait or anything.
We'll follow up with students. We want to know what happens after graduation. We ask them what their plans are before graduation. We always try to get contact information for the students so we can follow up. We let them know that the experience does not end when they graduate, that if they have questions or needs, they can always come back and see us at a later date.
I think at Sun Valley, we really give them the life skills they need to not just get through their diploma, but to literally get through life. They know they can always come back for help. They can come back with assistance with college paperwork. They can come back with assistance for jobs. And they just know that this is a place that once you're a family, you're always a family, and you can always come back for help and support. And we guide them and we show them that the real world has a lot of tough decisions to make and a lot of uphill battles, but there's a way to get there.
We like to set up every student with the FAFSA so they have that opportunity. We show them that they can do that, showing them that they have the opportunities to do that, and then guiding them, walking hand in hand with them, making sure that they do it, and then being there to support them in that process.
My older son was the first to start HPA when they first started here, and my daughter, who's 3 years younger, she came over at the same time, so we had a great experience from the beginning. My third son came here from China at 9 years of age, and HPA was so welcoming. He didn't speak any English at the time. And he had Mrs. Mills, who's currently our principal, as his first teacher. And he graduated 2 years ago from high school, speaks English, did very well through school. HPA was a great foundation for him.